These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Faye Fredericks with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. In Washington, the White House announcing its first major trade deal since the president enacted massive new tariffs on foreign trade. U.S. agreeing to new trade terms with close ally, the United Kingdom. The new deal drops the auto tariff to 10% for the first 100,000 British cars sent stateside. It also streamlines exports for American goods headed across the Atlantic.
The deal includes billions of dollars of increased market access for American exports, especially in agriculture, dramatically increasing access for American beef, ethanol, and virtually all of the products produced by our great farmers.
And overall, 10% duty on most English goods remains in place. All eyes now turn to U.S. trade negotiations with China to see if it will lead to a deal. White House previously claimed it was in talks with China, but just yesterday, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said negotiations with China would start Saturday. That trade deal sending Wall Street roaring back into the green today. President himself even urging Americans to start buying stocks. Big three U.S. financial markets all ending the day with strong gains, with tech stocks leading the charge. Arizona Attorney General Chris Mays is taking more legal action against the Trump administration. Mays joining 11 other state attorneys general in filing a new motion for a preliminary injunction to stop President Trump's tariffs. Motion is part of a lawsuit Mays filed last month attempting to pause tariffs imposed under 4 of the president's executive orders, which were enacted without congressional approval. This includes the 145% tariff on most products from China. We're digging deeper now into Pope Leo XIV's background and history in the church. The 69-year-old is from Chicago, graduate of Villanova University, spent years in Peru as an archbishop, a period in his career that church experts believe made him a more universally appealing candidate to be pope. There's been a longstanding concern about choosing an American pope, given the level of international power and influence our nation has in the world. He left to Peru in 2023 and moved to the Vatican to begin vetting bishop nominations under the late Pope Francis. It's considered one of the most important jobs in the Catholic Church. Another important layer to his story, concern from an advocacy group for survivors of abuse within the Catholic Church. In an open letter, SNAP says just 3 years ago, some congregants accused the new pope of a cover-up, claiming he failed to investigate 2 Peruvian priests accused of abuse and allowed them to continue saying Mass. Pope Leo has also been criticized for allowing an accused priest in Chicago to stay at a local friary close to an elementary school 9 years after that priest had his ministry restricted. In your health check, CDC releasing new data on the worst year for pediatric flu deaths in some time. At least 216 children died of the virus last season, the worst since the swine flu pandemic in 2009. Some health officials say misinformation about vaccines is a key factor. Of the 25 children who died of the flu in New York, only 1 was vaccinated. 5 others were too young to get the shot. Agency continues to recommend annual shots for anyone older than 6 months. We're also tracking reports of measles cases. The U.S. now surpassing 1,000 confirmed cases since the year began. 2025, now the second worst year for the virus since 2000, when experts declared the virus effectively eliminated because of vaccination efforts. The vast majority of the new cases are connected to that West Texas outbreak. Like the flu shot, health experts stress the importance of getting the measles vaccine that they say is safe and drastically reduces your risk of severe illness and death. May is Wildfire Awareness Month. Officials are urging residents, especially if you live near parks or forested areas, to stay prepared and know what to do if a fire breaks out. Officials recommend putting together an emergency go bag that includes your essentials, things like bottled water, a first aid kit, hygiene items, and other key supplies. Stay alert to ready, set, go evacuation orders, and make sure you're signed up for emergency notifications. If you're visiting the Grand Canyon, be sure to familiarize yourself with the park's evacuation plan. And don't forget, APS will shut off power in high-risk fire areas to help prevent wildfires.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens. We've got high pressure building in and temperatures heating up as we head into Mother's Day weekend. In fact, as early as tomorrow, some valley neighborhoods, including in Phoenix, are going to be back in the triple digits. Here's your forecast. 72 degrees at 6 a.m. We'll hit 95 at noon, and then 102 around 2 p.m. puts us 10 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Ozone pollution will also build up throughout the day with the sunny skies and the light winds in the forecast. So if you have any kind of respiratory respiratory issue, limit your time outside in the afternoon, or you may have difficulty breathing. Try to carpool, take public transportation, or work from home if you can, and even just waiting until after dark to refuel your vehicles. That's going to help prevent the problem from getting worse as well. Here's the next 7 days for you. We are looking at a sizzling hot Mother's Day weekend. Breezes will pick up over the weekend, improving air quality, but that forecast is going to be scorching. 105 on Sunday, and some relief with temperatures back in the 80s next week.
These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.